What is the value of n in the equation 0.6 times the quantity n plus 10 equals 3.6? So when it's asking for a value of n in the equation, they're asking for the value of n that makes it true, which means you're solving for n. And when we're solving for n, the goal is to get that variable n completely isolated or alone on one side of the equal sign. Now in this equation, you should notice that variable n is inside a set of parentheses, and we have a number on the outside of the set of parentheses, but only a number on the outside. There's nothing else added or subtracted. So there's actually two different ways to solve this equation for n. The first is to use the distributive property. We can distribute the 0.6 to the n and the 10. That means we're going to multiply the 0.6 by n and 10. So 0.6 times n is 0.6n, and then 0.6 times 10 is 6. And then it still equals 3.6. So we've simplified that left side. We've used the distributive property to rewrite that left side of the equation, so now we can use our inverse operations to get the variable by itself. So if we're adding 6, we have to subtract 6 on both sides. To undo that, adding 6 on the left, leaving us with 0.6n on the left, and 3.6 minus 6 gives us negative 2.4 on the right. Well, then if it's n times 0.6, we have to then divide by that 0.6. The opposite or inverse operation of multiplying is dividing. So if we divide the left by 0.6, that gets us our variable n isolated alone on the left side. And then dividing by 0.6 on the right, negative 2.4 divided by 0.6 gives us negative 4. So we have a solution of n equals negative 4 by using the distributive property. Now, we also, in this case, could have just divided by 0.6 in the beginning as our first step instead of using the distributive property. We could have recognized that this is a product, so the opposite of multiplying for a product is dividing. So we could have divided both sides of the equation by 0.6, which would have undone that multiplying by 0.6, leaving us just with n plus 10, and then 3.6 divided by 0.6 is 6. So then n plus 10 equals 6. We'll subtract 10 on both sides, which gives us n equals negative 4, which is the same thing we got when we distributed. So whether you divide or whether you distribute, either way we get a solution of n equaling negative 4, making our answer choice C.